On behalf of the Ottawa Police Services Board, I am announcing that today, Chief Peter Sloly and the Ottawa Police Services Board reached a mutually agreeable separation, and as such, Chief Peter Sloly is no longer employed with the Ottawa Police Service. We thank Chief Sloly for his service to the City of Ottawa. As this is a labor relations matter, no further comment will be made. Deputy Chief Steve Bell will be the interim chief until further notice. The board is already at work to put in place a new command structure and will be appointing a new chief very soon. The board's priority is to ensure a plan is put in place to bring about a peaceful end to the occupation of our city as expeditiously as possible. The Integrated Command Center, which includes our RCMP and OPP partners, will continue to operate. The first item on the agenda today is a briefing on the Enhanced Integrated Command Center. I've asked the service to provide an update specifically on this new command center and how it will impact the service's resource requirements, command structure, and decision-making moving forward. I am happy to see the RCMP and the OPP at the table because, frankly, the response to this crisis so far has been ineffective at bringing this occupation to an end and restoring peace and security in Ottawa. The OPS has been unable to adequately enforce our laws, and our residents continue to be terrorized. It isn't good enough. Last week, the OPS sent a clear message to the occupiers to expect a strong police response to illegal activity. On the weekend, there were more street parties equipped with stages, big screens and sound systems, hot tubs, and an outdoor gym were erected. Today, we have more trucks lined up on Parliament Hill than we had yesterday. Like other residents in Ottawa, I have watched in disbelief as this carnival of chaos has been allowed to continue. While I appreciate that resource constraints have been a big limitation, it's both puzzling and frustrating to that the OPS has been unable to do more with the current resources, and I know resources have been a huge issue. Interim Chief Bell, I would turn this over to you to introduce, and once the presentation is over, we will go to questions from board members. So over to you, Interim Chief Bell.
Thank you, Chair Deans. It's been a challenging day for the board. It's been a challenging day for the service, and I'd like to start by thanking Chief Sloly for his service to the Ottawa Police Service and to the community. The unlawful occupation has been a tremendous stress on our community, everyone that lives in Ottawa, and has brought on unprecedented challenges to both the police service and the city as a whole. I know it's been tough. I know it continues to be tough, but I'm confident that we've reached a turning point. With the new resources that we've seen flowing in from our policing partners, the new tools that both the province and federal government have put in place, and our new integrated command center that you're going to hear more about today, I believe we now have the resources and partners to bring a safe end to this occupation. The Ottawa Police are ready, eager to do what is our part. With new leadership and stability from our command team, I'm confident that we can end this occupation. We look forward to continually working with the OPP and RCMP to restore law and order in the City of Ottawa. I'll now turn it over to Deputy Chief Trish Ferguson for an update on our current efforts.
Thank you, Interim Chief Bell. Good afternoon, Chair, members of the board. I want to thank you for the opportunity to provide you with an update on the demonstration and some salient details today. As has been the case following every weekend to date, the number of demonstrators and vehicles in the downtown core has dissipated. The number of demonstrators was less than 150 in the overnight hours, and the numbers of vehicles in the core has declined to approximately 360. This is down substantially from the beginning of the demonstration, where there were over 4,000 vehicles in the downtown core, and it is lower relative to all other periods of the demonstration as well. The overall footprint of the demonstration remains more or less the same, though a small number of trucks have been relocated from residential areas of the downtown core to Wellington Street in front of Parliament. This was an outcome of negotiations that occurred between the mayor and some of the demonstrators, and it is hoped that this outcome will help to limit negative impacts being faced by the downtown residents. As of this morning, there are 172 active criminal investigations. We have laid 33 charges and made 18 arrests. And with bylaws help, we have handed out nearly 3,000 tickets. We appreciate that the community wants us to increase our enforcement actions, Though, as we have said from the beginning, we are managing security and safety throughout. What this means is that we're not always in a position to lay a charge or ticket on an individual due to a specific security or safety concern at the time. It doesn't mean it cannot be done at a later stage by different means of service. We continue to actively collect evidence, information, and intelligence, and we'll be working with our municipal, provincial, and federal partners in ensuring that there are consequences in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Realistically, this means that our many investigative teams will be doing months of follow-up work with investigation in order to lay charges when warranted, regardless of where an individual resides. On the issue of the Incident Command Center, as has widely been reported, the OPS, the OPP, and the RCMP have moved to stand up the Incident Command Center. This center, led by the Ottawa Police, will allow us to leverage a proven and structured framework when conducting our operations, required given the complexities and intricacies of the continuing situation. The ICC will allow for the oversight and coordination of planning and logistical supports and experts who continue to arrive from across the country. These experts carry with them a great level of knowledge and experience in responding to such protracted demonstrations and will be critical to intentional, scaled, intelligence-informed actions as we move forward. In all cases, and all actions and decisions taken will be measured, made in consideration of all possible factors and outcomes, regularly evaluated for positive and negative impacts, and adjusted as needed. Finally, the ICC will aid in providing of strategic communications to all parties, including members of the public, the media, and our policing partners. As for the enforcement of recent orders, during the last few days, a number of emergency orders and actions have been taken at the local, provincial, and federal levels. These orders are helpful. We welcome them, but must be fully understood prior to application to ensure that they can be used effectively and as intended. In the case of the federal invocation of the Emergencies Act, we continue to await for official details before operationalizing it. We have been working with our legal team and those of our provincial and federal partners to understand the implications of the various orders and actions and consider the impacts on our ultimate mission. This work has been continuing during a time of high fluidity, and so we have taken the necessary time to understand additional powers in the current context and communicate this to our members. That said, we certainly have more tools in our toolbox today than we did when this demonstration started. And we will look at how we can best address them and use them to deal with public safety and security concerns. Thank you.